So my name's Lucy Gault. I'm an educational project developer with the Centre for Educational Development, and my role currently is as part of a team that is supporting the delivery of the education strand of Strategy 2030. And the capacity that I lead in is managing two of the work streams that are within the education strand. So there's 6 work streams across the strand, and I manage the student voice and the assessment strand. So it's my job to support the workstream leads and the members of the group and ensure that the projects and that aspect of the education strategy gets delivered. So how I lead is in project development. I have been with Queen's for 5 years. I did my degree here, and then I actually ran for election in the Student Union, and I was the elected education officer for a couple of years. And then I moved into a role also within that department, Education and Skills, which is now Education and Student Services, in a project support role. So I had actually signed up to the programme before I'd started this role because I just thought it would be really useful. I thought it was really interesting. I think the setup of it was good in that obviously it did differentiate between types of leading, and I think that is helpful in that it does help you organise your time a bit more. I think if you were to do the full course, obviously that would take up quite a chunk of time. That said, there were some of the line management ones that I thought actually that could be useful, or if I wanted to progress to a position of line management, I would rather have that information and that kind of program behind me before actually going into that position. Loads of things, and we have the capacity to do loads of things, but it's not always feasible. So in my role, exercises like that we did throughout the program, I think I will come back to and use to say, what can we do now? What do we want to do in the future? So in that sense, in terms of kind of planning, team building, organisation, there were some really useful things I definitely would use again. I think it was really worthwhile, if for the very least, getting that chance to be in a room, with other people and gain that experience from people you might not know. And I think it has been made that bit more accessible this year, which I think is really good. So I would even feel more confident now saying to people, yeah, this absolutely is for you. You don't need to be line managing someone to get the benefit from it. And I think I would even recommend it on the basis that I think it's really beneficial to people to kind of just get out of that space and be able to have that time and space to think and be creative and be innovative and bandy ideas about. I think you can definitely see that there is more of a focus and more investment on professional development in general. And personally, I love doing any kind of CPD. I do think there are more opportunities becoming available. It's open to anyone who thinks they might benefit from it. I find it really useful and I really enjoyed it. Like I say, the one-to-ones were great. The facilitators taking them were fantastic, very approachable again, very accessible. Like just having that space to freely talk with colleagues and get to know new people. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is learning how to practically apply what you're actually taking in these sessions. I did find it so useful because the program did that for me and gave me literal exercises and toolkits to take away. So I find it really beneficial in that sense. I really, really enjoyed it. I think just having that space, it's really nice to be able to say, no, I'm going to be out for these few hours because I'm going to be doing this development course, and kind of being able to just take that time and step away from the office, kind of forget everything else. I think even that in itself can be really, really helpful for people.